Hi everybody and welcome to Deth Wizards. After a brutal battle with the Necromancer Ostacar, Zarasso now has his focus on a new goal. He and his Horde will attempt to steal from an Arcane college, and that will without a doubt be his most daring quest so far. In his previous battles, Zarasso has used clever tactics where several of his undead have been able to attack from a distance, but now 2 of those undead were lost after the previous battle with Ostacar, and Zarasso has to change his tactics. But of course, he also has raised new undead. The college is very well protected. It is a story with a rating of 9, and at the moment there are no less than 3 level 3 wizards, 1 level 2 warrior, and 1 villager guarding the college. Zarasso has used his XP from his previous battles on 2 things. Now he has the special ability Expert Stitcher. He learned the hard way that could be necessary, and he also has a new necromantic power, Shadow Switch. That power enables him to switch position of 2 of his friendly undead within range. In his Horde this time, Zarasso has his mummy, a rating 3 undead. And he is accompanied by the new undead, the Wight, and also a zombie. Finally, hiding in the ruins of this village is the ghost, and it's a rating 3 undead, and this ghost is also improved. After the last battle, the ghost has a resist of 6 instead of 5. Exactly 9 points of undead, and that is the same as the story mission. Here is a top view of the battlefield. In the upper left corner, the college surrounded by pools. Upper right corner also pools, in this case symbolized with a river. Forest in the lower left corner, and in the lower right corner, ruins. And from these ruins, Zarasso and his Horde will approach. Zarasso will begin, and in his first activation he will activate the zombie and the ghost. And as previously mentioned, he used to have undead that were able to attack from range. Now he has to get in close as fast as possible. So the zombie as well as the ghost will move and fly in for the attack. They will use their movement as well as their actions to get close. The ghost can fly, so it will easily cross the river. Zarasso will then move himself. 5 inches is his movement, and he will jump up into this wagon. And from this position, he can see and target the villager with a negative bolt. That will cost him 3 points. The villager only has a resist of 4, and Zarasso will have to surpass or roll the same with 4 attempts. That was definitely a weak roll. Only 1 power dice is good. That will give him 1d10 of damage to the villager, and it's a 3. That's far from enough to kill the villager. The villager is not the most dangerous enemy on the battlefield, but it would have been nice to get him out of the way. The heroes will now activate, and according to the hero activation, the wizards will activate first. This wizard will roll a 2, so let's check out the wizard actions. A roll of 2, and that's fiery bolts. The wizard will attack the nearest 3 enemies it can see. And with a range of 20 inches, this wizard can now attack the zombie, the ghost, as well as Zarasso. The zombie has a defense of 3, and the wizard will roll 5 attack dice, and they will hit all of them, and there is even 1 critical hit. That's a total of 6 damage to the zombie, and with a durability of 10, that's a hard blow. The ghost is tougher with a defense of 6. Again, 5 attack dice from the wizard. And another 3 hits this time. 3 damage to the ghost. The ghost has a durability of 13. Finally, Zarasso with a defense of 5, and there are 2 hits this time, so he will take 2 damage to his Necromantic Power. He could use his Dark Shield, but he will take the damage. He does not know what else is going to happen this turn. Because now the second wizard will activate, and let's see what he comes up with. It's a 7, and the wizard actions, a roll of 7 is a fireball. He will attack the nearest enemy and he will target resist instead of defense. The nearest enemy, unfortunately, is the zombie with a resist of 4 and still 5 attack dice. And there are 3 hits. The zombie has already taken 6 damage, so now it has lost 9 out of 10 durability, but it's still, so to speak, alive. It's Zarasso's second activation, and he will begin with Aura of Repair, and the zombie is the target. Only 1 durability healed. Next up, Zarasso from this position will spend 5 necromantic energy to target 3 of the heroes with his grasping tendrils. It's an expensive power, but it can also be very effective. The warrior is up first with a resist of 5, and Zarasso will roll 3 power dice. Only 1 hit, that's 1d3 damage. 3 damage to the warrior, and he will also be slowed. The next target is the villager with a resist of 4. Again, 3 power dice. And this time it's way better. All 3 of them will hit. So that's 3d3 damage. And that's 3, 2, and 1. A total of 6. And the villager was already hurt with 3 damage. That's a total of 9. And that means he is killed by the grasping tendrils. First hero down. Finally, the wizard with a nasty resist of 9. That's a challenge to hurt him, but let's see if Zarasso is able to get his necromantic power to work. There is 1 good power dice. That's 1d3 damage to the wizard and 2 damage, and he will also be slowed. Zarasso will then move down from the wagon and into cover behind this rock. Then he will activate the Wight. He cannot activate the Wight and the mummy. He will have to wait with one of them. So the Wight will move twice and shield Zarasso from potential attacks. 2 heroes are left to attack, and the first one is the wizard. And he will fire another fireball. And the closest enemy this time is the Wight. The Wight has a resist of 6, 5 offense dice, and again it's a good roll. That's 4 damage to the Wight. The last hero is the warrior, and he will roll a 1. Let's check the warrior actions. A 1 is a defensive stance. He will not move, but he will get a +1 to defense. And he will have that for the rest of this round. Zarasso now gets his 3rd turn, and he will activate the mummy first. And the mummy has a very special ability, Unraveled Flight. He will be able to teleport instead of move, but only once per game. He will use that now, and 1 wizard is in for a nasty surprise, because the mummy will teleport here right up to the entrance of the Arcane College Tower, and he will use his second action to move right up into the face of the wizard. Then Zarasso himself will activate first Aura of Repair to the Wight, only 1 durability healed. And what is Zarasso up to now? He has spent quite a lot of necromantic power in this first round, and he will move right into the open. From this position, he can see and target 1 wizard with a negative bolt. That leaves him with only 7 necromantic power, and there is no satisfaction guaranteed, because the wizard has a resist of 9. Zarasso will have to roll 9 or 10 with at least one of his 4 power dice, and there is 1 good hit. That's 1d10 of damage to the wizard. And it's 7. A great hit. A level 3 wizard has 11 durability. Now he has lost 9. And that was the last action of this very brutal first round. Almost all of Zarasso's undead took damage in this first round, but they also killed the villager, and Zarasso also hurt the wizard and the warrior. And he got his mummy up close as well. Let's go to round 2. The first thing that happens in the new round is that this wizard will use his Walk the Mists ability. If an enemy is within 6 inches of the wizard, he will teleport 12 inches directly away, in this case from the mummy. That takes the wizard away from the threat, but he finds himself surrounded by other threats. He's closer to the Wight and Zarasso. Speaking of Zarasso, he will gain 3 Necromantic Power to begin round 2, and then he will activate the Wight, and he will attack the teleporting wizard. The wizard will now use his other special ability, Magical Shielding, where he will get 3+ bonus in defense for the first offense attack made each turn. That takes him to 9, and the Wight is looking for 10s because he will then get a crippling strike, but unfortunately, he fails all his attacks. The badly shaped but brain-dead loyal zombie will move twice, and that will take him even closer to danger. He is cannon fodder. Zarasso will begin his own activation with Aura of Repair on the Wight. That's highly successful. He will heal all damage, and then he will turn around and slightly move to the right to get a free line of sight to the wizard that is already badly hurt. He is the target of another negative bolt. And he will fire his bolt against the resist of 9, 4 power dice. And there is 1 hit again. That will be another d10 of damage. He will only need to roll 2 or more to kill the wizard. And 2 it is. The wizard is down. Not only is the first wizard eliminated, Zarasso also regains 3 necromantic power. Now the wizard closest to any of Zarasso's undead will activate, and that's this wizard. What will he do? He will attempt another fireball. And the target, of course, is the Wight. Resist 6, 5 offense dice, and there are a few hits, only 2 damage to the Wight. He can take that. The second wizard will activate, and it's those fiery bolts that will target defense, and he can target 3 enemies from his position. The first one is the zombie, and the poor zombie only with a defense of 3. And that's an incredible roll. The zombie will be toasted with fiery bolts. I don't even want to count here. The zombie is destroyed. Then the Wight with a defense of 5. And again, there are 3 hits. The Wight has now lost 5 out of 14 durability. Final fiery bolt target is the ghost. It is slightly closer than Zarasso. The ghost has a defense of 6. And there are 3 hits again. 3 more damage to the ghost. The wizard will also suffer 3 damage because he rolled a 1, a critical failure, and the ghost has aging vision. That was a lot of damage and a lost zombie. Zarasso will attempt Aura of Repair. He will heal 1 durability from the ghost. Then he will attempt his new necromantic power, Shadow Switch. He can see the Wight and the ghost, and they are within the range of 18 inches. The power will cost him 4. Then the Wight and the ghost have switched positions. With the new position, the ghost can now attack the wizard. The ghost has an offense of 6, and in the end, the ghost will hit the wizard 3 times. The heroic warrior will activate. He is already hurt, but he will roll a 2, and the warrior actions says that this is a strike. So he will attack the nearest enemy or move and attack the nearest enemy. In this case, he will fly up the stairs and attack the mummy. The mummy has a tough defense of 7, but the warrior will attack with an offense of 6. And that's 3 damage to the mummy. And immediately after, the mummy will attack the warrior back. But the warrior is a defensive specialist. So if there is only a single enemy within 1 inch, he will have a defense increase of 2. That's a defense of 7, and the mummy will attack with an offense of 7. If there is a critical hit, the mummy will activate the Cursed Touch, and if there's a critical failure, the warrior will activate Riposte, and the mummy will suffer 1 damage. Let's see here, there are no critical hits or failures. There are 3 points of damage to the warrior. The warrior has lost 6 out of 16 durability. Next up, Zarasso and his Aura of Repair. He will heal 1 durability from the ghost. Then he will move closer to the heroes. From here, Zarasso will spend 3 power on a negative bolt on the wizard fighting the ghost. Resist of 9, and Zarasso only has 3 power left, and there is a hit. Now a good roll on the damage dice, D10 here, will take out the wizard. And it's a 7 that will take the wizard to 10 lost durability, but he has 11. So Zarasso will not regain any necromantic power. That's a problem. And that's also the end of the second round. Round 3 will begin with the wizard. He is way too close to the action, to his taste, so he will teleport 12 inches directly away from the ghost. Zarasso will regain 3 power. He's now up to 6, which is not a lot. Luckily, he can do Aura of Repair for free. He will try to heal the ghost, and he's successful with 2 durability. Now it's time to get those heroes out of the way. Zarasso will turn around, move slightly forward, and then he will spend 3 power and try to take out the wizard once and for all. He only needs 1 damage. But he has a resist of 9. 4 power dice. 1 hit is needed. Only 1. Oh no, it's a necromantic disaster. No hits at all. Left out in the open, Zarasso will move the ghost in front of him. And the wizard that should have been destroyed long time ago will now get an action. And it's, yeah, of course, it's fiery bolts. I can understand he's desperate, so he will fire his bolts at 3 different targets. First, the ghost. And there are a lot of hits. The ghost will take 5 damage. Not enough to destroy it, but it's in a bad shape. Then it's Zarasso's turn with a defense of 5, and there are hits as well. Zarasso will be forced to use a dark shield, and he will negate all damage. The mummy is the final target with a defense of 7. Again, the wizard will fire 5 attack dice. And there is a critical hit, of course. The mummy will take 4 damage. Then the second wizard gets a chance to attack, and it's a fireball, and the nearest target, unfortunately, is Zarasso himself. The fireball will target his resist of 5. 5 offense dice, and critical, they will hit all of them. And with a critical, that's 6 damage. Zarasso has already used his Dark Shield, so that will suck the last 2 Necromantic Power out of him, and then the damage will be taken from the Ghost instead. 4 damage. The Ghost only needs 1 more hit to be destroyed. Zarasso now gets his turn, but he can't do much. He will heal 1 durability with his Aura of Repair, but he's drained, so instead he will activate the Mummy. The goal, of course, is to eliminate the warrior, but he still has his very annoying defensive specialist ability. But with 7 offense dice, let's see what kind of damage the Mummy can do. Only 3, I suppose. That's far from enough to kill the warrior. And with a critical failure roll of 1, the Mummy will also take 1 damage, as the warrior will strike back. The warrior will now attack the Mummy back. It was another strike roll on the warrior action chart, and he will hit absolutely nothing this time. 0 damage. Zarasso will activate for the 3rd and final time this round. He will heal the Ghost slightly, and then he will move the Wight. The Wight has a movement of 6, so this will be a double move that will take the Wight closer to the action. But it keeps its distance to the wizard, otherwise the wizard will teleport away. That concludes the 3rd round. Maybe Zarasso has spent too much necromantic energy. We will see. Round 4. At least Zarasso will get 3 necromantic energy here at the beginning of round 4. That will not give him much to shoot with. Instead, he will command his Ghost forward and attack the wizard. The wizard is badly hurt, but he has a defense of 9 again because of his magical shielding. But with an offense of 6, the Ghost only needs 1 hit. And there it is. 1 roll of 9. That is enough to equal the defense of the wizard and deal 1 damage. And that will end this wizard, finally. And with the ability Absorb Essence, the Ghost will have +1 offense. Zarasso then will activate and use Aura of Repair and heal 3 durability from the Ghost as a reward. And the next move is to target the final wizard with the remaining 3 necromantic energy. That is just enough to fire a negative bolt. That is Zarasso's go-to necromantic power, but again, the wizard has a resist of 9. Let's see if he can roll 9 or more with at least 1 of these dice, and there is 1 roll of 10, so that will give a damage roll of 1d10 that could eliminate the wizard if the roll is high enough, but it is a 5. That's good, but not enough to eliminate the wizard. The wizard has now lost 8 out of 11 durability, and he activates with a roll of 10, and that is Dispel Magic. And that's pretty good. All conditions will be removed, but all necromancers within 12 inches will also lose 3 necromantic energy. Zarasso is within 12 inches, but he has no energy to lose. So instead, he will draw power from the Wight and will suffer 3 durability. The warrior will once again roll for his favorite strike and try to eliminate the mummy. With a defense of 7, the warrior will do 3 damage. The energy-less Zarasso will activate and he will heal 2 damage from the Wight. It's the mummy's turn. Against defense of 7 and offense 7, a great attack that will end with, there is a critical as well. That's 5 damage and 1 critical. The warrior will not be killed, but he will be cursed. All the heroes have activated, but Zarasso still has his Wight. He will begin with Aura of Repair and take 1 damage away from the mummy. It has suffered 10 damage out of 16, and then Zarasso will do no more. But the Wight will move forward. 6 inches of movement will take the Wight to the wizard. An offense of 4 against a defense of 9. This is the first offense attack in this round, so the wizard will have magical shielding. And the Wight is looking for a roll of 10, so it can hit with a crippling strike. Let's see. And there is nothing. It's round number 5. Time is running out here in the final round. First thing to happen is the wizard. He will walk the mist and teleport away from the Wight. 2 heroes still alive. It's the 5th and final round. Zarasso has gained 3 necromantic energy. It's highly necessary, and he will begin with an Aura of Repair and heal the mummy for 2 damage. Zarasso doesn't really trust that the Wight can eliminate the final wizard, so he will move and spend his last 3 necromantic energy on a negative bolt, again versus a resist of 9. The wizard has 3 durability left. Zarasso will have to get 1 good dice roll here, and there is 1 good dice roll. That's D10 damage. He will have to roll at least 3 to finally kill the wizard. And there it is. The wizard is done. Zarasso will get his 3 necromantic energy back, and then he will command the ghost to also attack the final hero. Now that the warrior is surrounded, he will no longer have the benefit of his defensive specialist ability, so he's down to 5 in defense, and the ghost has an offense of 7 now. Let's see what this ghost can do. The ghost will have to deal a couple of points of damage to win this battle. Let's see. And there is... there is only 1 good offense roll, and there is also a critical failure. So the ghost will take 1 damage, and the warrior also only 1. That is not enough to conclude this battle. The warrior gets 1 more activation, and it's a roll of 8 this time. It's a whirlwind strike, so he will, of course, strike both the mummy and the ghost. The mummy is the first target. This is defense 7 versus offense 6. Luckily, only 2 damage and no critical. This is really risky at the moment if Zarasso loses both his mummy and his ghost and his zombie. Next part of the strike is against the ghost with defense 6. And this looks far worse. 4 more damage to the ghost, and it's barely hanging on. The warrior has only 1 durability left, and the ghost 2. The mummy is in the best shape, still with 6 durability left. 1 hit is all it takes. Defense 5 versus the powerful attack of the mummy. And there are plenty of hits. It's over. The mummy will deal the final blow to the warrior, who will stumble all the way down from the tower, dead. Zarasso is back in his lair, victorious. He will earn 3 experience points from this mission, 1 for completing the story, 1 for keeping his undead alive, and 1 for killing heroes. He will get an alchemy lab as a reward, and he will also be able to choose another necromantic power. Besides that, this is his story and skirmish mission number 4. He also chooses the Crystal Caverns, and that means his lair is now improved to a tower. But more important, what will happen to the zombie? A roll of 4 means that the zombie, under usual circumstances, would be degraded. But Zarasso is an expert stitcher with a +1, so it's a roll of 5, and the zombie is restored. Finally, Zarasso will attempt to raise a new necromantic minion, and the choice is a rating 2 undead. But because of his research lab in his lair, he will only need a roll of 2. And it's a 3. He will successfully raise a new undead. And a revenant appears. The Revenant will join the undead ranks, and Zarasso will spend his experience and find his new powers before the next story. So far, so good. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future videos.